I think we're all pretty familiar with Jeremiah 29:11. It speaks to us on the future God has for us, one full of hope and prosperity, and I think we all want that. As young adults, we make choices every day that impact and influence our lives. As a senior in high school, I had been on the cheerleading squad for 5 years. But as a senior, I wanted it to be God's will if I was a part of this cheerleading squad. So I had been praying, Lord, if it's your will, I want to be a cheerleader. And sure enough, I didn't make squad that year. So I had the choice. I had the choice to either accept God's plan for me or reject it. So by accepting it, that allowed God to work in and through me. And it laid the foundation for the choices I would make the rest of my life. In my early adulthood years, it was very common for couples to marry at an early age, especially if you didn't go to college, which I didn't. My goal, my desire was to be a wife and a mom. So marrying my high school sweetheart, we'd been dating for 6 years, so I assumed I knew a lot about him, but there were some things we didn't discuss, and one of them was having children. So the first 15 years of our marriage were challenging for me. We differed in that area, but God still had a plan, an amazing plan. It was through foster care and big brothers, big sisters that my husband was able to realize that parenting was something that he could do. And so it was through those programs that we acquired our first daughter. And as our family continued to grow and mature, God was still directing our path. Our church went on its first mission trip in 1998, and I wanted to be a part of that. My curiosity as far as mission field and service to God led me on that trip. And each day, the minister that week would pray a prayer asking for a family from our church to join the mission field there and to relocate. And every time he would say that, my spirit within me would just move in a way that was kind of uncomfortable. But the fact that I loved my family, my job, my church home, it caused me to just kind of know in the back of my head there was that calling, but avoid it. By the third year of being a part of those mission team trips, our entire family agreed, all three of us, that God truly had been calling us to the mission field. And that was 22 years ago. So for the last 22 years, God has truly been directing our path. Has it been challenging? You bet it has. Is it rewarding and adventurous? It sure is. But it is one that is so worth it. There is no greater boss than the Lord. There is no one more worthy of our praise. He has, in all these years, guided and provided and directed and equipped for every need there has been. So my challenge for you is this. If you're not to the point in your faith journey where you've allowed God to be the one directing it, God to be the one guiding that future, I encourage you to do so. It may not be the plan you had in mind, just like it wasn't necessarily the one I had in mind at first. But I can guarantee you it is one worth all of your prayers and time and efforts. It is one that will be so full of blessings you never could have imagined it. Just give it a try.